guys, welcome to the final lecture on our Tkinter section. I think this is the final lecture, I'm not completely sure, but let's get started. Today we're going to be talking about animation. Animation is the core concept of all things GUI, alright? Without animation you can't have any sort of amazing GUI app unless of course it's just user input. Otherwise, if you're gaming, if you're doing other stuff, you want to always have animation. Now, this is where the time module comes in. Now, if you remember back in like section 5, 6, I'm not even sure what section it was, we talked about the time.sleep, right? And what did time.sleep do? Well, it basically paused the program. For example, when we were printing 1 to 100, every single time a number was printed, our program paused for a second. It was neat, right? We could, say that after every second, I want this to happen. After every half a second, do this. Well, this is where animation will come into play with this time.sleep. So go ahead and create something. Create anything you want, but make sure it's an object. I'm going to go ahead and create a polygon. And this polygon is going to look like a triangle sideways, basically a play button. Excuse me. So canvas.create polygon and then specify the coordinates. Again, I got the coordinates down. So just copy what I'm writing, 10, 10, 10, 60, and 50, 35. Okay? So save this, and now down, what do we want to do? Well, think about it like this. We want to move this object, and then pause for some amount of time, then move the object again, then pause for some amount of time. So go ahead, remove this import.random, and instead import time. Okay? Now for I, let's say I want to move this 60 times. For I in range 0, 60, okay? I want to say canvas.move. Okay? So you're wondering, well, what is canvas.move? Canvas.move basically moves the object you have on your screen by a specific amount. Okay? So the parameters canvas.move takes, well, let's take a look. So canvas.move, suppose we said, just write this for now, 1, 5, 0. Canvas.move 1, 5, 0 states that you're moving object ID 1. Alright? So object ID 1 is the identifier for the triangle. Alright? Triangle is again the create polygon we created. Now we're moving the first object, and then we're specifying how many pixels we're moving it in the X and in the Y. So right now we're saying that we want to move it 5 pixels forward every single time this function is called. Looks like I caught my spelling mistake. So for I in range 0, 60, canvas.move 1, 5, 0. Again, what is it doing? 1 specifies that it's the polygon. If you're wondering, well, we haven't specified any identifier. Well, the way this works is whichever shape you create first. For example, if I created a polygon and then a line, polygon will get the ID 1 and our line will get the ID 2. Okay? Canvas.move 1, 5, 0, moving it 5 pixels to the right each time. Then you have to call tk.update. And what tk.update does is it basically, not tk.update, root.update. Root.update basically updates your whole canvas, your whole screen in case there have been changes, and as you can see there have. And then we're gonna say time.sleep 0.1. So this whole code as it's being executed, every time we want to make it sleep by 1/10 of a second. So Command S, F5, and let's take a look. Okay. Here's our Python launcher. Open. Wow. That is some impressive animation. We have just made a triangle move off our screen. Yay! Nice job, guys. So if you didn't understand what's happening, go back to our code. Let's take a look. For I in range 0, 60, we're just saying 60 times. Move our canvas 5 pixels to the right. We're not really moving our canvas, but the polygon, which has the identifier 1. We're then updating our screen and then making our program sleep by 1/10 of a second. So this is probably a very basic introduction to our animations. Now what you could do is we've talked about binding, right? We know how binding works. We do the canvas dot or the root dot bind all. You specify which key, and then you specify the function. Then in our function, we pass in the parameter event, and we do something. So here's a challenge for you. I won't be giving the code for this, but every time I press the enter key, I want my triangle to move 5 spaces to the right. Okay, maybe 10. Let's do 10 spaces to the right. Okay, every time I hit my enter key, I want it to move 10 spaces to the right. So hopefully you know what's happening. Again, go back to the key binding, understand what we did there. Maybe use some online resources. Again, we'll talk about this more in our gaming section, but if you can do this, fantastic. Anyways, this is it for our whole Tkinter section. If you had any questions so far about all the lectures we've covered, from buttons, checkboxes, menus, I don't even know what we covered, but everything we've done so far, if you've had any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to ask. I mean, I really want this to be, a fun class. I want this to be open. I'll try my best to answer any questions you have. If I don't, I'll definitely find them for you and get the answer for you. That's it for this lecture, and I'll see you in the next section.